What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Dodgers, they get the win on the Dodgers home opener by a score of 9-3. Your boys in blue get it done. They improved to 4-2. They're now tied for first place, and the story tonight has to be about Freddie Freeman. We have to lead with Freddie Freeman because he stepped up there in the 8th inning, hits that double that sparks the Dodgers offense. They explode for 6 runs, and you saw tonight how lethal this Dodgers offense is. When these bats, they can beat you in all kinds of different ways. We saw death by paper cuts there early in the first inning, 5 singles. They score 3 runs on 5 singles, and then you see the slug late. You want to get a little more in between, but they're not even close to firing on all cylinders, and when they really start clicking, this offense is just going to explode. But we've already started seeing it. 9 runs today. You saw the last game. You saw the 3 home runs back to back to back. So this offense is really already starting to show what it's capable of. But here we go. Freddie's walk-up is absolutely electric. It is really special. I love the song choice there by his son Charlie. Just got home from the game. Super awesome. Man, did you teleport? You must be a superhero if you can get out of Dodger Stadium that quick. Offense is starting to get going. Yeah, and you know what? One of the themes we're already seeing is their ability to score runs late in games. We've seen it now. We saw it in Minnesota. You saw it today. Late games, this team really steps up. The 7th inning are on. That's what they're really one of the better teams at doing last season, and you're already starting to see it early on in the 2022 season. You just look at that 6th inning there, what this Dodgers offense was able to do. Freddie Freeman goes up there, hits the double, first extra base hit in the regular season for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and it was a special moment there. I mean, he's on second base. You see him take off his helmet. You see him get that ovation, and yes, Atlanta, they have some pretty nice fans, but LA is just different. It's just different to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers because we're not talking about 38,000, and we're not talking about 40,000. We're talking about 50,000 strong at Chavez Ravine. It was a special moment. It definitely reminded me of Max Scherzer's debut against the Astros, where he comes out and he gets the ovation. Really first time in his career he gets the curtain call. And I think it's a little different, though, because Max Scherzer, we knew that was probably going to be a rental there, that we were going to see him for the long run. But this felt like tonight, like this was the beginning of a long 6-year relationship of prosperity. The Freddie Freeman era has kicked off. Freddie Freeman is a Dodger, and you saw tonight why they gave him that 6-year, $162 million contract, and to me, he's worth every penny. Freddie Freeman, he ends up going 2 for 5 tonight, had the double that sparked things there in the 6th inning. We're going to break down this entire game. 14 hits for the Dodgers, by the way, 9 runs on 14 hits. They get 3 in the first thanks to those 5 singles. But we're going to break down the entire game. We're talking about Walker Buehler's outing. We're going to talk about Cody Bellinger. I told you guys what I say. Don't give up on Cody Bellinger. I've been a believer for a long time. You're starting to see him really get comfortable and put it together. Yes, he did have a bad strikeout tonight, but for the most part, he's really starting to impress at the plate, starting to look really locked in. But who else had so many micheladas tonight? The gas is stinky. Yeah, did you guys go to the game? How was the game? What was it like? What was the vibe? What was the energy like? How electric was it at the Ravine tonight? Freddie Freeman's debut. You had the Dodgers home opener. Wasn't like last year. We had some limited capacity. This, you had a full home opener, and it was just special at the Ravine. One of those special nights. You're never going to forget Freddie Freeman's debut against the Dodgers. Love this team. Belly was awesome. Give me all your takes. If you got a super spicy fire take, you're going to hear the fire sound. You're going to hear the flames, okay? Anything spicy, anything hot, I like to hear that. And we're going to break down this entire game. By the way, be sure this lineup is unbelievable. Yes, look, I mean, we're before this season, maybe we're paper champions, right? Because on paper, they look so good. But tonight, yes, it was the lowly Cincinnati Reds who aren't expected to do much. And yes, it's a regular season game. But I think tonight you saw how dynamic this lineup is because they have the bat-to-ball skills and they have the slug. And you combine that and you have the most potent lineup in all of Major League Baseball. Belly is back. That's from Calvin T. Brulio, can we please never pitch David Price again? He's sunk cost anyways. I'd rather have one of the young guys. Yeah, David Price, he looks sharp early on and he gives up the home run there. Unfortunately, did David Price. But, yeah, I mean, we'll get into some David Price talks. I'm going to get your spicy take. Kimbrel should have still had the ninth, Jared Myers. I don't totally disagree with that. I mean, you did use your high leverage guy when it was tied there early on with Blake Trinan there in the 8th inning. But I think Craig Kimbrell, it's going to be a long season. You want to keep him healthy. And also, if you look at, I don't know if you have been following closely, but Evan Phillips has really been a stud. You see the way he's able to use that slider, that cutter. I mean, his slider is just filthy right now. 4 inches of horizontal break. I mean, that's elite territory. So Evan Phillips continues to improve, continues to impress out of this Dodgers bullpen. We're going to have plenty of time to see my man Craig Kimbrell coming out of that bullpen. We're going to hear "Welcome to the Jungle" instead of "California Love." And I think, yeah, you could throw him out there, but he's a guy that he relies upon that adrenaline. He almost likes it if it's closer. And like he always says, the louder the crowd, the easier it is to get that save. And I think that, hey, you're going to have plenty of time to see Craig Kimbrell get saves and slam the door shut for the Dodgers this season. So I don't have any issue with that. Spicy take, we played great and battled hard, but today's game was made easy by the Reds. They blew at defense on the infield, and they looked totally depleted by the 7th inning. Yeah. I mean, look, yes, it was the Cincinnati Reds. Yes, they did have some defensive miscues there. I mean, just look at Will Smith in the 1st inning. That ball gets under, and, yeah, I mean, it was ruled a hit. But, yeah, I mean, no errors by the Reds. But I think the big one there was the big one there that kind of really blew the doors open was the Fraley. You know, kind of the Wall was the real MVP. The Wall came in clutch for the Dodgers, and yeah, just kind of ricochets off him there in that 8th inning. But here we go back in the comment section. Best catcher, Will Smith, Careless Whispers. Trey Turner, 20 home runs, 70 RBIs. I think you're undershooting Trey Turner. Last year at a career-high 28 home runs, was the batting champion with a 328 average. I think that his numbers will be higher than that. I think Trey Turner hits 30 bombs this season. I think that he vies for and he gets some MVP votes. And depending on how things go for him, I think that there's a chance he's in the running for the MVP by the end of the season. I think that's how good Trey Turner is. Just look at his approach at the plate there. Hits that slider away. I mean, the man is just a world-class hitter. That is what Trey Turner is. And, yeah, he's just fantastic. And you also have to remember that he is a free agent after this season. He is in a contract year. He's going to want to put up big-time numbers, and I think he'll do just that. So I got 30 bombs for Trey T. Will Smith hit that ball so hard, Chris Rock flinched. Okay, I like it. Doug, what do you? I got to give you this one though. I got to give you that. Doug, what do you think of? What do you think the Dodgers' record will look like? I mean, look. I mean, I predicted this season just to kind of. I mean, I do think that. Obviously, if you follow my show, I've had my concerns about the starting rotation. I feel a lot better after seeing how Clayton Kershaw performed the near perfecto. By the way, if you have any thoughts on Clayton Kershaw's perfecto, almost perfect, that 7-inning perfecto that wasn't to be, let me know down below in the comment section. I have some more thoughts on that if you want to discuss that. To me, I think it absolutely was the right call when you consider the fact that he hadn't picked up a ball since January. He had really the kind of the break. It was his slider was not as sharp in the last 2 innings. That fastball was starting to look a little flat. You saw how hard that ball was hit to Gavin Lux. I don't have any issue with that, but we'll discuss that if you guys have any thoughts on that, because I know everybody still wants to talk about that. But here we go. Will Smith throwing out runners now. Yeah, you love to see that. It was a really nice play. It was a really nice play by Trey Turner there to get that tag. But yeah. Really, really great, really, really nice play right there by Trey Turner. And yeah, I mean, look, I mean, you're seeing the improvements of Will Smith when it comes to game calling, when it comes to his framing. A lot of those metrics, they have improved over the years. In the last 2 seasons, he's improved defensively. Not a lot of people talk about that. People try to act like he's just this offensive catcher, but he has made strides defensively. And I think when you see what he's able to do at the plate, he hits rocket shots. I mean, on the road trip, his exit velo averaging over 95 miles per hour off the bat. He's just smoking shots. And, yeah, sometimes he runs into some bad luck, but no one hits the ball harder than Will Smith. So, yeah, I mean, to me, he's the best catcher in Major League Baseball. I mean, he's definitely in the conversation. You got Perez, you got Real Muto. There's some names out there, some more established names than Will Smith, but we're talking a guy that's played less than 2 full seasons when you look at games played. So he is ascending very rapidly, emerging as one of the game's best premier catchers. But Dodgers are starting to hit their stride. Diane Schroeder, yeah, I mean, look, we thought, oh, what's going to happen? I mean, they lost the series against the Colorado Rockies first time since 2018. But hey, it's Colorado, it's Coors Field. You know that it's a circus out there, and I think that you saw that this team offensively, they're just so dangerous from top to bottom. The best, most productive 7 through 9 lineup. You're talking about guys down there, Chris Taylor. You're talking about Cody Bellinger and Gavin Lux. That trio, they really have looked good, and it helped that they're playing against the Minnesota Twins to really get themselves going. Gavin Lux was already really the story of the weekend with how he performed against the Colorado Rockies, and to see Cody Bellinger, who looked lost in the first 2 games of the season, and really kind of started to pick it up. You started to see some better at-bats and just getting more contact at the very least. And then he hits his first belly bomb, and then his confidence starts to soar from there. So, yeah, I think what makes this lineup so special is the fact that you have guys in their 7, 8, 9 holes who around the league, they'd be batting 4, 5, and 6, 3, 2. I mean, anywhere up and down that lineup, they have no business batting that low in the order. But this is the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they have the potential to be a historically great team. We're talking about the 1995 Indians, the 27 Yankees, lofty expectations. Yes, there's no question about it. Lots of hype surrounding this Dodgers offense, but when you look at the talent that they have and the names that they put on this lineup, Trey Turner drove in Freddie Freeman for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, to me, that just doesn't sound normal. And Mookie Betts hit before Trey Turner. I mean, the way that this roster has changed so quickly in the last few seasons is really mind-blowing, and it just really speaks to how committed this organization is to winning and putting the best team on the field and just fielding the best lineup in all of Major League Baseball. But tonight's definitely a victory to get excited about. I mean, there was that cold spell during the middle there when, after that first inning, didn't have very much. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Once there we go. But let's get back into your calls. Here, a healthy Kershaw is more important than a perfect game. A perfect game. Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, and you're right, a healthy Kershaw is better than a perfect game. There's just a couple ways to think about it. I can see both sides of the argument. And what I said right after the game, was blame Major League Baseball. Blame Major League Baseball for his short lockout. But even if he was fully ramped up, you also consider the conditions there. It was cold. And I went back and I watched the last few innings, and yes, his slider did start to lose the bite. It did start to lose that depth. And really, it was only a matter of time until maybe he was going to get a base hit. It was going to serve up a base hit, and then the no-hitter's gone. The perfect game is gone, right? And then you have him out there, and you're having him throw 90 to 100 pitches for what? For nothing at that point. But on the flip side, we're talking about a perfect game. We're talking about the pinnacle for pitchers is pitching a perfect game. There's only been 23, 24 if you count Galarraga, Jim Joyce, the worst umpire ever, in Major League history. And if he does that, I mean, that's really, if Clayton Kershaw had pitched a perfect game yesterday, that would be the first thing you talked about whenever you brought up Clayton Kershaw. I mean, Kobe Bryant has 5 championships. What's the first thing you mention when you talk about Kobe Bryant? It's the 81-point game. But it just wasn't meant to be at the end of the day. If Clayton Kershaw goes out there, he suffers an injury, has to miss significant time, then I think that all the blame goes on Dave Roberts. So you can't do anything right. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't, if you're Doc, and that's usually just the story. But like I said, I think that if Kershaw wanted to do it, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt, and you say, hey, I'll give you one batter, one pitch at a time. We'll monitor it closely. If you get some quick ground ball outs, maybe we consider it. IB stroking again. Padres fans threw a parade after Freddie got to second. I love it. Now let's set Mookie on fire. Yeah, Mookie Betts. Look, you're seeing some good and some bad from Mookie Betts. I mean, tonight he goes 2 for 5. So 2 for 5, he gets the 2 singles, and you're starting to see him get some hard contact. You see him pull balls, and it's definitely what you want to see from Marcus Lynn Betts. And I think when it comes to Mookie Betts, yeah, he's always been a guy that, look, I mean, if you look at the 2020 season, he finished second behind his now teammate Freddie Freeman in the MVP voting, and he really got off to a slow start, hitting just above, around 220 to start the 2021 season, and then he really started to spark things up. You saw him, they moved him to the leadoff spot, and the Dodgers really took off. But yeah, I'm not overly concerned with Mookie Betts. Absolutely not. I mean, Mookie Betts tonight, you saw in the second inning, grounded that double play. That one, 105.3 miles per hour off the bat, a 520 expected batting average. So Mookie Betts in the single there in the eighth inning, 98.9 miles per hour off the bat. So he's hitting the ball hard. He's stringing some at-bats together. But I will say there in the seventh inning, before things really got going, yeah, it was definitely not his best. Really not his best showing there. When you look at that seventh inning, Will Smith, he pops the first. Chris Taylor, he gets the first pitch base hit to left. So Chris Taylor gets that one-out base hit. And then on a 3-0 count, Bellinger, he had that sinker, 95 miles per hour out and away. He fouls it back. He kind of misses one that he would like to have back. That's one we've seen Cody Bellinger just crush for a belly bomb. And CT3 was running on the play, but he ends up drawing that one-out walk. So he had runners on first and second, one out. And then Hunter Strickland, he comes in to pitch to Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux versus a lefty, and you saw that at-bat. Gavin Lux, it looked like he was looking for a breaking ball. He kind of gets frozen by that heater. He takes it looking, and he goes down. He gets rung up, and he strikes out there. And then Mookie Betts, he comes up, and he watches two fastballs in the zone, and then he chases a slider out of the zone. So, yeah, not the best at bat, and he's trying to still get his timing right, get his Mookie Betts. I think that you're going to start to see him really get everything in sync pretty soon and catch fire. But, yeah, I'm not worried about Mookie Betts. I mean, he's hitting 250, but still very, very, very early. And you start to see she's promising signs for Mookie. Heaney, 16 wins. Belly, though, yeah, we're going to talk about Belly. Unless Kershaw asks to be taken out, you let him go for their perfecto, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a good debate, but I don't think that, to me, I don't think it was he asked to be taken out. I think it was collaborative. I think it was mutual. I mean, he was throwing a sim game with 75 pitches before that, and he's a guy that, look, you have to remember, I don't want to jinx anything, but he's had no major arm surgeries. Clayton Kershaw, he's a guy that has a lot of mileage on his arm. He's a guy that has pitched on short rest in the postseason on numerous occasions. So you just don't want to you want to be very precautious when it comes to Clayton Kershaw at this stage of his career. Because I'm telling you, a guy that signs on a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who's really touch and go at this point in his career when it comes to health, if he goes down in that game without having made a start at Dodger Stadium and he retires, he would have regretted it his entire life, and I would have been furious. So, look, it just wasn't meant to be. That is why perfect games are so special, because it's really the perfect chain of events. You get a play here, a play there, a defensive play to save a perfect game, a call here and there. When those things happen, they're very far and few between, and that's what makes them so special and so unique. So Hanser will have a nice year. Yeah, I love Hanser Alberto. By the way, my man, Mr. Brooks Smith, my guy, I love his nickname, the Hanser. Kind of like inspired by Allen Iverson, the Hanser for Hanser Alberto. My man, Brooks Smith, that's his. Raiders all day, the Raiders. I was at the game, and it was electric back-to-back, Nate. In addition to the DH, the National League. By the way, who was your player of the game? If you have any thoughts on Clay, yes or no, should Clayton Kershaw have been taken out? And also, Freddie Freeman, is he going to be the team's MVP this year? Who do you guys have as the Dodgers MVP this season? Is it going to be Freddie Freeman? Is it going to be Trey Turner? I think what you saw today, and I think what's just so refreshing with Freddie Freeman is his approach at the plate. It is that opposite field approach. It's that approach to hit to all fields, hit for contact. The slugging comes with that. And I think with Freddie Freeman, it's a throwback approach. It's an old school approach. You see him in the back of the box. He lets the ball get real deep, and it's just a thing of beauty to watch him at the plate. And look, Corey Seager, no knock on Corey Seager because he's a fantastic player, but I think it's the consistency that we're going to see with Freddie Freeman in situations, and I think it's going to be the approach during situations that I think that you're going to see with Freddie Freeman, a little more of a mature approach at times, and I think that's going to do wonders for this team that had so many cold streaks last season. That was so inconsistent at times, especially against the Braves in the NLCS. Will Smith, Will Smith, man. Here we go. That's right, Raj Kanar. We got Dan Serrano. You realize you're a Dodgers. By the way, if you have not subscribed to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. It's the fastest growing Dodgers YouTube channel in the game, and it's all thanks to you guys because we're all about the fans and we're all about your fan takes. So be sure to drop those. We're doing tons of giveaways this season, tons and tons of giveaways, tons of exciting content for you guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be at the game. Be in the clubhouse trying to get content for you guys, trying to get some interviews for you guys. So definitely follow us all year on Twitter and Instagram as well. Here we go. We got the Freddie Freeman 5. No real LA fan can support a SF team. Raiders at least have LA history. Freddie will be the Dodgers MVP. Craig Osterberg, that's pretty hot right there. Will Smith for MVP. Okay, well, let's start breaking down this game a little bit, getting back to your hot takes, getting back to all your thoughts and reactions from the Dodgers win tonight. We have to talk about Walker Buehler tonight. I have some thoughts on Butane, just kind of his evolution and just kind of where he's at. But the Dodgers, they get the win 9-3 over the Reds. They improved to 4-2 on the year. LA 9 runs on 14 hits. He had the big double that sparked the Dodgers offense there in the 8th inning. Freddie Freeman, the moment. What did you guys think? Give me your one-word reaction. One word. Thanks a lot, Diane. Subscribed a long time ago. Yeah, thanks, Jonathan Mora. D-Mac, YouTube favorite. Thanks, Brian Gags. Yeah, by the way, yeah. One-word reaction to the special moment of Freddie Freeman getting that ovation, taking his helmet off, addressing the crowd. I'm watching from the studio, but definitely got some goosebumps there, man. Got some chills. That's why baseball is so special. Baseball is different than other sports. I mean, you have time for moments like that. And I think it was a great point by Joe Davis. I think Joe Davis made a spectacular point during the broadcast. By the way, congratulations, Joe Davis, the new voice of the World Series, taking over for Joe Buck. Look, Joe Davis taking over for Joe Buck for the World Series was almost as good of an acquisition as the Dodgers signing Freddie Freeman because, I mean, Joe Davis is just fantastic at what he does. But I love this point about how you almost could sense that the fans were realizing kind of what he went through with Atlanta and how, yes, maybe the Dodgers weren't his first choice, and maybe if Atlanta had made him that contract offer that he wanted and met his asking price, that he would be a Brave because he was this generation's Mr. Brave. But now they're saying, hey, you're a SoCal kid. You're in Dodger blue now. We ride or die with you. And I thought that was a special moment. I think that was a special moment for the Freeman family there that was up in that box. They were cheering him on. It was almost like, hey, this is the Los Angeles Dodgers. This isn't the Atlanta Braves or any of these other franchises. This is an iconic franchise, not just in baseball, but in all of sports. Dodger Stadium is a special place. The Dodgers are a special franchise, and I think the Freeman family really got that full experience tonight, and I thought it was just really special. It was kind of my big takeaway. It was electric. There's no doubt about that, Justin. Baseball's fun from Miller, Damian, Austin. This is your one-word response for the Freddie Freeman from the Freddie Freeman moment. Freddie Freeman, he nice. I like that, Gary. Priceless from William Stewart. 2 words, California love. That's perfect. Hey, 2 words, man. You make the rules. I like that, Monte Carlo. Goose Pimps. Joe Davis is a current year where Joe Buck was 1990. Oh, I like that. Joe Davis is a current year BMW where Joe Buck was a 1990 Camry. Davis, much more bearable. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think, yeah. I almost think like Joe Buck was like an old Carmagia, just like, setting on fire and like blowing up sounds all weird. Joe Davis, the next Vin Scully, Isaac Porter Lopez. I mean, there are some parallels. I mean, I think that my favorite thing about Joe Davis is you never know what you're going to get for his calls. I mean, Joe Buck, back at the wall, it's gone. or in things like a Joe Davis, you just never know because I feel like it just comes from a genuine, authentic place. It's happened, and his calls are just incredible. I love Joe Davis, man. He's the man. I love Joe Buck. Sorry, he's not going to call games for Fox. I'm no Buck hater. I mean, I think Joe Buck is fine. I mean, I don't think he's fine. I mean, I'm just not a big fan of just. I mean, like I said, like I don't know. I mean, it's all subjective, really. But face of the franchise, do you think Cody is pulling out of his awful slump? That's from Mitchell Miller. I mean, if you look at Cody Bellinger tonight, 2 for 3 and the walk. And now he's up to 286 for the season. Look, when everyone was down and out on Cody Bellinger, what did I tell you guys? I said, and this was just a few games ago, they're saying, let's send him to AAA. What did I tell you? I said, this is Cody Bellinger. It's down there somewhere. The Rookie of the Year is down there. The Little League World Series is down there. The Little League World Series appearance is down there. The MVP is down there. The multi-time All-Star is down there. And when you're a guy like Cody Bellinger and you've achieved your entire career, you don't just forget that overnight. That ability just does not disappear. And I think you're starting to see the evolution of Cody Bellinger and a much more mature approach at the plate. It's not just going up there with an all-or-nothing approach with that long swing. Like I said, that strikeout tonight, that we're gonna have like Baywatch's belly watch. We're gonna monitor him very closely this year, and he did have some bad swings tonight. He did chase that slider away, and it definitely was not a good chase. Some of those swings where it was bad. But look, I mean, we haven't seen him just getting fastballs blown by him. Those fastballs where he just can't catch up to them. You're not seeing that as much these days. And like you said, he's stringing together multiple games consecutively. And I think that's another thing that's very important. And I think that he's definitely in a position where, yes, a couple bad games to start things off. He was atrocious during spring training. But what I tell you, it is spring training. The operative word being training. It's not important as far as your regular season results go. And look, I think with him, it's just about staying consistent with his setup. If he's going to keep the wider stance, if he's going to keep his hands a little lower with a little more rhythm and not have that bat parallel, then I think you keep the stance going with the results. And yes, you always have to make adjustments. You're always going to be making little tiny adjustments. You heard Oral Hershiser talk about the adjustment that Mookie Betts was making with his foot placement and how that was affecting things as far as his momentum goes. Hitters are always tinkering, and you don't even notice it most of the time, but you just can't have any dramatic and drastic changes if you're Cody Bellinger. And if you look at Cody Bellinger now, I really do think that things are going to turn around for him. I mean, look, what I tell you, during the season I said that my hot take, my bold prediction was just to manifest this somehow, just to put it out in the ether. My bold prediction was Cody Bellinger is going to win Major League. My bold prediction was Cody Bellinger is going to win Major League Baseball's Comeback Player of the Year. And look, when you consider the year he had last year, a 165 batting average, of 48 WRC plus, I mean, what kind of numbers does he have to put up just to be in contention for that award? So let's say he does put up a 260 average and hits close to 30 home runs and plays stellar defense. I think Cody Bellinger is going to win Major League Baseball's Comeback Player of the Year. You heard it right here. Belly is taking that award. Let's go. Joseph Megazzini, by the way, shout out to my man Reggie and Joseph Megazzini. You guys were in the game last night, tonight. I mean, what was it like at the Ravine? You guys, true blue, day ones of the show. But we got how many home runs is Freddie Freeman going to hit this season? I got Freddie franchise hitting 29 bombs. 29 bombs for Freddie Freeman, hitting over 300. But you're going to see tons of doubles. You're going to see him score tons of runs. Last season, Freddie Freeman led the National League with 120 runs scored. And you saw his heads-up base running there in the first inning, going first to third on that Trey Turner single. So, yeah, let's start breaking down this game. I want more of your fan takes because you guys are on fire tonight. It was great. I love that point, Diane Schroeder. It was great to see Oral back. And, hey, man, Oral's the best. Oral is just, I mean, his knowledge is off the charts. He's really a pitching savant. The things that he can see, the things that he can identify out there on the diamond are just world class. He's a master class in broadcasting when it comes to analyzing pitching and also the chemistry that he has with Joe Davis. And this is no knock on Eric Karros, my fellow Bruin. I support you, but they put in some years. They put in some sweat equity together, and it's just nice to see Oral Hershiser back. And whoever hacked him, shame on you, man. Cody is going to rock. Hope so from Blue Magic. Cody Bellinger is going to win most singles. Belly is always going to chase. LOL. He's trigger happy. D-Mac, what's your post-game go-to food and location? I mean, you guys know how I get down with carne asada fries. Carne asada fries, tacos, burritos, but we're actually going to do it. I don't know if you guys check out the parking guide. We dropped the parking guide on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel that has parking secrets and tips, secrets, and everything you need to know about parking at Dodger Stadium. So I highly recommend checking that out. We're also going to be dropping a food guide at some point too. So if you have any recommendations for your Dodger Stadium food after the game eats, drop those down below because we're going to be dropping one of those as well, guys. King Tacos. Good times. Will Bueller get better command as the season goes along? That's from Samuel Kim. So let's start breaking down this game because, yeah, I definitely want to touch on some Butane because that's kind of where he got into some trouble there. The walk led to the home run there in the 6th inning, and then you saw what happened in the 2nd inning when he allowed some free passes, and then it lowered the bases there, and he kind of had to work his way out of the jam. But tonight, Walker Buehler, he gives up 2 runs on 5 hits in 5 2/3 innings, had 4 punch-outs and 2 walks through 98 pitches. So from a build-up standpoint, that's definitely a positive step in the right direction, getting close to that 100 pitches. From a velo standpoint, you saw on the home run there late by Aquino, that it was a little bit of a dip. It was at 93 on the home run. He tried to elevate it, and he crushed it. So you saw him ran out of gas there. He did run out of gas late in this one, but he's starting to build up. He's not completely built up. He's starting to get that strength, and I think that you saw him really have a dynamic pitch mix tonight as well. And I think that was kind of my takeaway with Walker Buehler is, look, he's not going to rely solely on that gas anymore, and that's just not who he is at this stage of his career. I mean, I think that he can still be equally as effective, but you're seeing more cutter. You saw him even tinker with that almost Frisbee-like slider today that was actually charted as a cutter. So I think that he's always looking for ways to get better and kind of change his game up. And look, I mean, he's still with a heater that's touching 96. We know he can still top out 97, 98, but I mean, I don't know if you're going to see triple digits Butane. I mean, today that 4-seam fastball, he averaged 95.3 on his heater, down 0.6. He had 13 swings and misses, a 28% whiff rate tonight through 98 pitches, 45% fastball, 13% slider. So look at that dynamic mix, 13% slider, 12% change, 12% knuckle curve, did throw that cutter and a sinker tonight. So he's really mixing it up. And if you know Walker Buehler, he's one of the smartest, most cerebral, intelligent pitchers in the game. And, yeah, let's start breaking down this game a little bit. But the Code Warriors comments, guys. Buehler did his job. Home run Aquino hit was just pure raw talent on display. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But elevated, he took the hack at it. And, yeah, on that pitch, 93 miles per hour. On that heater by Butane. So I believe it was one of his slower fastballs of the night. So yeah, he definitely crushed that one. Like you said, sometimes you just got to tip your cap to a really nice piece of hitting there, and he definitely did that. 104 miles per hour. 104.1 miles per hour off the bat, 93.5 miles per hour out of Buehler's hand there. But yeah, so first inning bets. And by the way, keep firing away in the comments, guys. If I don't get back to them. By the way, we're gonna do in the post game show probably double, triple that we've had in most years. So the post game show, thanks to you guys, it's coming. The post-game show. It's number one Dodgers post-game show on the internet after the game. So definitely thanks to you guys. We're rocking more shows this year. So look for us after not every Dodger game, but tons and tons of more Dodger games. Maybe 4 or 5 games per week this year. And anything crazy pops off, a walk-off, something controversial, I'm going to be coming live. So the reason for that is because you guys are bringing those fire takes. And thanks to you guys, we're rocking more shows this season. And here we go. Not worried at all about Walker. The more he builds, a post-game food, Ay Frios, and La Casa. Hey, man, that's the best way to go, right? That's the hood. Buehler did okay. He gave up the homer. Yeah, he did okay. I mean, he definitely was cruising. He was in control. He did have innings. He had 1, 2, 3 innings. I mean, let's look at that bottom of the top of the second inning was kind of his other problem inning. So top of the second inning on a 2-0 count, Votto he gave that Votto. Votto got that ground rule double. And then Stevenson lined to right for the first out. Then Aquino, he strikes him out for the second out. And then Moustakas, he reached on an infield single to second. Votto advanced to third. And then he walks Farmer to load the bases. So, look, that inning, he could have got out of it. He had the 2 outs, and then he issues the walk. So, really, for Walker Buehler, it's just about continuing to paint the zone with strikes, continuing to work in that zone and attack the zone. You saw in that second inning, yeah, I mean, he cost himself a couple more pitches, gave up those 2 hits, but I mean, I thought I really liked the at bat there. I mean, to get Aquino on that slider low and away, I think that was a really filthy pitch. The Votto double, it was a hitter's count. It was a down 2-0. Kind of hung that cutter, just that cutter just kind of hung there. And Votto, he was a great hitter. He gets that ground rule double. Then Stevenson gets the line out, and then Moustakas reached on that infield single. So, and then the walk to Farmer. Just not the greatest command on that bat. And then he gets Moran to ground to second. So gives those 2 hits in that second inning. But we got to talk about the first inning really quick, too, because like I said, I think this is an important game if you really want to understand what this Dodgers offense is capable of. Because, look, I mean, they have a lot of different clubs in that golf bag. I mean, they have everything you need to beat a team. Like I said, they can beat you with the paper cuts, or they can go bombs away. In the first inning, it was those paper cuts. So Betts flies to right for the first out, and then Freeman singled to center in his first at-bat in his first regular season Dodger Stadium debut. So you know it's going to be a special night for Freddie Freeman when the first pitch he sees at Dodger Stadium in the regular season, he singles, and nice piece of hitting, a little sinker inside, and I just love watching him at the plate. I've always admired his game from afar, but just seeing him in your own team's uniform, it just hits different, and you just kind of understand them and appreciate them more. But after that, Trey Turner, he singled to center. Freeman goes first to third, and then on a 1-2 count, Justin Turner, he takes a slider and singles to right center, scoring Freeman to make it 1-0 Dodgers. And then Max Muncy, he singled to right, scoring Trey Turner to make it 2-0 LA. So 4 consecutive singles for the Dodgers in the first. And then Will Smith, he hits that chopper, a little ground ball, goes under Farmer's glove. He's coming in from shortstop, goes right underneath it. It was ruled as a base hit, and that drives in JT to make it 3-0 Dodgers. So 5 straight singles for the Dodgers in the first. And then Chris Taylor, he hits into that double play to end the inning. But Dodgers, they strike first blood. They go on top early, 3-0. And then lots of nothing in the middle. You saw what happened with Walker Buehler there in the second inning. The Dodgers offense, they went cold. They were 1 for their last 15 at one point after that first inning. And then we jumped to the top of the top of the 6th inning. So top of the 6th inning, we got to talk about that because it looked like it was going to get a little dicey there. You had David Price and Buehler, of course, he starts the inning. Buehler starts the inning, then Price comes in, but Fraley grounded to second, and then Votto grounds to the pitcher, grounds to Buehler for the second out, and then so with 2 outs, he walks Stevenson, and Buehler thought he had him on that cutter at the bottom of the zone. It looked close, but it was called a ball, and then he misses with the fastball at the bottom of the zone, just outside the bottom of the zone. He walks Stevenson, and then to Aquino, we kind of talked about that one. He bashed that one 403 feet. Had to let that fastball up, and he cranked it out, and that made it 3-2 Dodgers. So cut that lead to 1, and then in comes David Price. Then David Price, he came in, and he gets Moustakas to ground out to get the Dodgers out of the inning. So they get 2 runs on 1 hit there in the 6th inning, and then you jump to the top of the 7th inning, and David Price looks sharp against Farmer. He gets him to chase that sinker there. Until he gets him with that a really nice elevated sinker for strike 3. And then Moran, he gets him to fly to short for the second out. So They did their damage with 2 outs tonight, and then with 2 outs on a 3-1 count, Drury, he hits one deep, he crushes it, 401 feet, and that ties things up at 3, and then he gets Naquin to pop out to short to end the inning. So David Price, he gives up that 1 run there. It was a home run. So we'll see what David Price can do. He did look sharp at times during the spring. The velo wasn't great in this one for David Price, a little on the lower side. But, yeah, he's a guy that we'll see because, I mean, if he can be effective as a lefty coming out of that pen, he's a guy that can give you multiple innings of relief. So we'll see what they're going to do with David Price, and it's still early on. But, yeah, I did give the home run to Drury. But, yeah, let's jump to and then we got to talk about that the eighth, the bottom of the 7th inning. Talked about that one. Tie game. Will Smith pops the first. Chris Taylor hit that base hit. Mookie Betts, he chased that slider at the bottom of the zone. We're going to break down that 8th inning. We'll get some more of your takes. Then we'll get out of this one. But, yeah, Dodgers get the big one on opening night. Opening night at Dodger Stadium. And, look, the Dodgers, they now they've won 8 of their last 10 home openers. 8 of their last 10 openers. They're 8 of their last 10 home openers. They're 35-27 on opening days at Dodger Stadium now. So hey, man, that's so look, I mean, it was just a great night at Dodger Stadium to see Freddie Freeman get that ovation. Dodgers get the win, to see those home whites again. And, yeah, that 8th inning, they just erupted. And we're going to talk about that. But let's get back to your takes right here, guys. And, yeah, I'll let you guys – there we go. We got to Price, got behind 3-0 in the count. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. He missed with that sinker, missed with that changeup. And then he was getting a little erratic, and then he fouled off that sinker. And then he left that changeup just out over the plate. And you do that, and Drury's going to hit a tank, and he did just that, and that tied things up. So, yeah, give the Reds credit for staying in this one. D-Mac, first 40,000, get a 42 jersey. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go to the game tomorrow, that's one of the best giveaways I've seen. Price couldn't hit the side of a barn if his life depended on it from Mr. Cat. Yeah, we got first inning was old-time baseball. Yeah, a lot of singles. I mean, just going first to third, and you saw just getting the bat on the ball, and I thought that the approach from this Dodgers offense, not just relying on the slug. I mean, that's one thing I want to see from this offense this year is you want to mix it up. You want to be a little more dynamic, and you don't want to just rely on the long ball for victories. Dan Serrano, that would be a nice deal. Games are blacked out. I think tomorrow's on YouTube. My prediction, Trey Turner signs a 7-year, $195 million deal. I don't think you could get Trey Turner signed for that price. I think you're looking at $8,260, $8,280, something in that range. He'll be 29 in June. He's a guy that, since the start of the 2020 season, right behind J-Ram in overall WAR over 9. So he's a guy that he's one of the elite players in baseball, one of the most productive and complete players in baseball, defensively and offensively. Yes, there are those whispers that Bob Nightingale, he tweet out about him wanting to sign with an East Coast team, but I think it's still something to pay close attention to. But my gut instinct tells me that this could be Trey Turner's final year with the Dodgers. But I love tonight's game so much because everybody played like themselves. Muncy needs to be sent down. He's struggling. No, Muncy's starting to hit the ball hard. I mean, he hit a tank the last game. And, Muncy's fine. I mean, you still got to give him a little bit of time to fully look like himself after really tearing that UCL or suffering that injury in the final game of the season in 2020. And tonight, Max Muncy goes 1 for 4, hitting 143 on the season. But I think Max Muncy, you're going to get the play discipline. He's the guy that's not going to expand that strike zone. I think that Max Muncy is going to be fine because he's a guy that he's the Dodgers' most prolific slugger over the last 4 seasons. So the most consistent and prolific. But Turner, 8 years, $240. Trey will sign 5 years, $360, all guaranteed. Man, that's not happening. Here we go. The eighth inning is our I like that one. Eighth inning is our biatch. Muncie's fine. More importantly, he's healthy. Yeah, he does look healthy. I think he did look a little shaky first couple games, just finding his timing, not getting behind balls as much. But yeah, I think Max Muncy is going to be just fine. But let's dive into that eighth inning and we'll get what had out here, guys. Like I said, we're doing more shows this year, so we're going to kind of keep them nice and tight so we can get more in here. But let's do that nice that eighth inning here. So Freddie Freeman, ground rule double to get things kicked off. Trey Turner singles to right, scoring Freeman to make it 4-3 Dodgers. And then Justin Turner, he walked. Trey Turner advanced to second. And then Justin Turner, he advanced to second on a wild pitch. Trey Turner advanced to third. And then Muncy, he goes down swinging. And on that pitch, just a slider. It's just a slider. I mean, in the zone, he just couldn't catch up to it. Then this was what blew the floodgates open. On a 3-1 count, Will Smith, he hits the tank, 394 feet, hits off the wall. So shout out to the wall for the assist right there. It falls out, and Will Smith hits his first bomb of the season. That made it 7-3 Dodgers. And then Clutch Taylor, first pitch slider, he singles. Bellinger singled to shallow right. And then Belly steals second, his third stolen base already, matching last year's total of the season. So that lets you know he's feeling good. And then Gavin Lux, he draws the walk. I think that was a very small, important thing for tonight. Keep Gavin Lux feeling good. He struck out looking against a lefty, and you wanted Gavin Lux to continue to feel good early on this season because he's had a really nice start. Then Mookie Betts, he singles to left, and that scored Gavin Lux. And then Taylor scored on that Hendricks wild pitch. That made it 8-3 Dodgers. And then Betts singled to left, scoring Belly, making it 9-3 Dodgers. And then Freddie Freeman, he's back. He's hearing Freddie, Freddie, Freddie. We heard the Freddie chants at Dodger Stadium. You're going to be hearing those all season long. He strikes out swinging. Lux goes to third on another wild pitch from by Hendricks. And then Trey Turner, he strikes out swinging. And then Phillips, he comes in a 1-2-3 ninth, and the Dodgers get it done. So my big takeaway tonight, this Dodgers offense, they're dynamic. They can beat you in so many different ways. We saw them dink and donkey with singles, and then we saw some Hail Marys there late with the double by Freddie Freeman and the home run by Will Smith. Walker Buehler, he was cruising at times. You want him to sure up that command. You want to see him to continue to increase that velo at times. But I think Walker Buehler, he's a certified ace, and just a couple mistakes tonight, and it was some nice piece of hitting from the other team. You got Tiber Cap on some of that. David Price gives up the bomb, so we're going to have to monitor the relief pitching early. But, yeah, this Dodgers offense, I think that it looked like a complete offense, and they're going to start firing on all cylinders sooner than I think we all kind of expected, because I think you wanted to see them build chemistry with Freddie Freeman. Now they know what they have with him. Justin Turner's getting it going. Cody Bellinger's getting it going. Gavin Lux had a great start of the season. Chris Taylor's had a great start of the season. Will Smith, who I'm telling you is going to be the National League All-Star at catcher this year. He hits his first home run of the year. And Trey Turner does what Trey Turner does. And look, I mean, there's just no holes in this lineup. So, we'll be back rocking with you guys on Sunday. Hope you guys have a great Easter weekend. Happy Jackie Robinson Day, by the way. Happy Jackie Robinson Day. One of the most significant days of the year. Transcends sports. And, also check out, we got an interview with DJ Severe, the Dodgers DJ. Go follow him on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to drop that tomorrow. Some really cool things to say. But we'll get your final takes. If you have anything, Evan Phillips, to answer your question, Mitchell Hopkins. But any fire takes at the end, guys, any hot takes, let's read them so you can get the flames. Will has my vote. Price cannot come in. Price cannot come in and close games. Have fun out there, D-Mac. Thanks, Damien. You have fun right back at you. Anthony Keene, thanks for another dope one, D-Mac. Anthony Keene, hey, I'm just glad because I don't know if you guys know, I was coughing up a lung the last show, man. I was choking like the Braves in the 2020 NLCS, and I wasn't doing so well, so I'm feeling much better. Audio's back, and it's going to be a crazy here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. But I will be at Jackie Robinson Day tomorrow. Special. You're a lucky guy. Have fun. Thanks, D-Mac. Peace out, everyone. Go Dodgers. I'll give you one of these. Fire Dave Roberts. Never too late for a Fire Dave Roberts, Team Ruiz. A great show, D-Mac. Glad. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Appreciate D-Mac. Thanks, Moose. Judge is overrated. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's about his health. But, yeah, thanks for rocking with us, guys. Enjoy the Modelo tonight, Doug. See you next one. Thanks, Brulio. But, yeah, guys, thanks for rocking with us. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, guys. Like I said, this is your show. I'm just hosting. I'm the man of the fan. Here to get your takes. Doug, thanks. I appreciate that. I miss Beatty. Beatty, bye-bye. Patrick Gagne, Dodgers blow up the Reds tomorrow. But, yeah, thanks, guys. Best fans in the game, Dodger fans. And see you tomorrow. Your Dodgers get the dub. Enjoy the rest of your night. And, as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time.